Can I just say something that I think a lot of women in midlife are thinking, but they don't always say it out loud? So what I'm tired of is everyone telling us that we need to do more. We need to take more supplements, more workouts, more meal prepping, more journaling, more meditating, optimizing, biohacking. You've all heard it before. More. And I'm saying, let's just stop this. Let's step back and evaluate. Because here's what I actually believe after working with women with perimenopause and in the menopausal phase, and by being a woman in the same phase of life, the answer is not more, the answer is better. And I think there's a big difference between these two things. So if you're a woman in your 40s or 50s and you're sitting there with a to-do list that never seems to end, you feel like your wellness routine is kind of like a second job, and somehow you feel like you're still not doing enough, I want you to just take a breath, because you've worked incredibly hard to get to this point in your life. You've raised your family, you've built your career, you've held everything together for everyone around you. You're smart, you're capable, you know yourself, and you deserve to have a conversation that actually honors that. So, welcome to my garden. I'm glad you're here. I'm Anna. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a functional hormone educator, and this channel is your space for real, honest woman-to-woman conversations about midlife, hormones, and actually feeling good in this season of life. And before we go any further, if this is already sounding like your kind of conversation, please hit the button and subscribe to this channel. It helps it to be broadcast to more people. I'm building a community of women who are done with the noise and ready for something real, and I would absolutely love for you to be part of it too. So let's get into it. Here's what I want to talk about today. What if the most powerful thing that you could do for your health and your happiness right now is not to add another thing to your life, but to instead start removing things that are cluttering it up? So what if instead of trying to do all of the things, you got really clear on 2 or maybe 3 things that are really going to actually move the needle for you? And instead of treating this season like a problem to be fixed, you start treating it like the summer that you've been waiting for your whole life. Because that's exactly what I think midlife is. I feel like it's summertime. And I think it's time we start living it that way. So if you reframe it this way, it just becomes more powerful that you're really going to own your midlife. Think about how you feel about summer. You get excited. You endure the cold, dark months of winter, knowing that summer's coming. And when it finally does, you do not spend it stressing about everything you should be doing. You slow down. You savor it. You have long evenings on the porch. You go to barbecues. You take beach days. You nap in the hammock without any guilt. So you should soak in every single moment, because you know that this time of your life is precious and you don't want to waste it. Now, I want you to think about midlife the same way. This is our summer. We've endured a lot to get here. So think about the sleepless years of early motherhood, the grinding years of building your career, the years of putting everyone else first. And now, here we are in midlife, in summer. So instead of savoring it, instead of soaking in who you've become and everything you've built, most of us are being told we need to hustle harder, we need to optimize more, and we need to fix everything that feels off. And I think that's just bullshit. So what I want to be really clear about is I don't want this to be misunderstood. I'm not saying your health does not matter. I'm not saying that ignore your symptoms and just push through and accept if you're feeling terrible. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that the wellness industry has a bad habit of overwhelming women, especially women in midlife, with an endless checklist of things that they should be doing. And what happens when you feel like your list is too long? I don't know about you, but for me, I shut down. I feel like a failure before I even start. When we try to do everything at once, we get overwhelmed and we quit. And then we end up feeling worse, sometimes worse than before we even began. So this might sound familiar to you. This is what's happened to me in the past. And here's what I've learned with working on myself and with women in menopause and perimenopause. The magic isn't in doing everything. The magic is in finding your things, the specific 2 or 3 things that are going to create the biggest domino effect in your body, in your life, in your hormones. Because here's the truth, what moves the needle for one woman might be completely different for another. So example, for one woman, they might be focusing on stabilizing their blood sugar and getting better sleep. Another woman might be focusing on reducing alcohol and adding an extra strength training session. Another might be setting boundaries at work that give her nervous system room to breathe. So there's no universal prescription here, and anyone who tells you that there is selling you something. So one of the most powerful moments that I witness with my clients is not when they're adding something new to their routine, it's when they give themselves permission to just let something go. And when we start peeling away all the noise, all the things that we feel like we should be doing, something really awesome can happen. When we start to get quiet enough to actually hear our thoughts, we start to ask ourselves, what do I really want? How do I really want to feel? What kind of life do I want? What do I want to be doing right now? Who do I want to be spending my time with? And those questions, those simple, quiet questions, they're more powerful than any supplement protocol or meal plan that I could ever give you. So when a woman gets clear on what she truly wants and truly nourishes her mind, her body, her soul, she stops white-knuckling her wellness routine and starts just doing it naturally. It stops feeling like a discipline and it just starts feeling like a choice that we've made for ourselves. And this is when everything can shift, not because we've added more to our lives, but because we finally removed the clutter to see things clearly. So I also want to take a moment just to celebrate with you, because I think women in midlife, we don't do this enough. Look at what you've done. Look what we've done. We have become mature and confident. We're not the same young woman we were at 25 or 35. We're wiser, we're clearer, we're done tolerating things that don't serve us. We have a depth of knowledge that our younger self can only look forward to. So yeah, our bodies are changing, our hormones are shifting, and some days feel harder than they used to. But let's not just toss it up to old age. You're not declining, you're just in a transition, and on the other side of that transition is a version of you that is more grounded, more confident, and more unapologetically yourself than ever before. And I think that's worth celebrating, definitely worth savoring, and that's why I want you to embrace this time as your summer. So I'm here to help you enjoy every single moment of it. So here's what I want you to take away from this conversation today. You don't have to do all the things. You don't have to follow every trend. You don't have to try every protocol. You don't have to optimize every corner of your life. You just have to find your things, the things that really nourish you, the things that make you feel like yourself again, the things that can create real change without creating overwhelm. And if you're not sure yet what those things are, that's okay. This is your time of discovery. And that's exactly what I'm here to help you figure out. So this channel is going to be full of real, honest, and practical conversations about hormones, metabolism, mood, energy, and feeling genuinely good in midlife. And no, we're not perfect. We don't have to worry about optimizing everything. I just want to have genuine, great conversations. And if this sounds like something that you've been looking for, again, please hit like, subscribe, share, invite your friends to watch this, hang out with me, because I'm going to show up for you every week as best as I can. And I'm just glad that you found your way here. I'm hoping to see you in the next one. And just drop a comment below if your garden is your happy place, because that's where I am right now. My garden is truly my happy place, and it helps calm my nervous system. And it's also a great workout. So if this is also you, leave a comment below. I love chit-chatting with other gardening girls.